When she arrived here, she was a very sick young girl.
Her cancer was just relentless at that point.
There's Alex.
During that month-long stay in the hospital where she told us she wanted to set up a lemonade stand.
I raise money
For what?
cancer research.
Alex's goal for today was to raise $1 million worldwide.
We were all thinking, like, that's so heartwarming, and we hope that that can happen, but could it really?
$1 million seemed like an impossible goal.
That's a lot of lemonade.
And I see this little girl on Oprah, and I was like, oh my God. I said, that's it. And I called my wife up and I said, Nat, I found it. I found what we're going to do.
Alex, while battling her own cancer diagnosis, was thinking about all the other kids. It just grabbed me.
Just a donation, yep.
Thank you very much.
Donate out lemonade!
She was at about 750,000, 800,000. And the donations were coming in every day. I said, but I don't know that she's going to be here to see that goal met. People were continuing to have lemonade stands and companies were supporting. And one day I got a phone call and was told that we were going to get a large donation to take her over her goal. So as soon as I hung up, I turned to her and I said, Alex, you met your goal, you raised $1 million. And she just sat up and clapped her hands and she laid back down.
I think once she got to that point, I think she was at peace.
She died 10 days later. So she was pretty clearly hanging on to see that goal met, and she did it. We heard from other families whose kids were fighting cancer, and I think those are the emails that affected me the most.
Other families that said that we needed to continue what she started because they thought it could help their kids. Went from Alex's Lemonade Stand to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, essentially, and became our own foundation.
Today, Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation is one of the largest pediatric cancer research organizations in the country. We have raised more than $300 million. We've funded 1,500 research projects. We've helped over 20,000 families. There's nothing like meeting a family whose child was literally cured because of something new that was funded because of research.
And he's doing well.
He is, yeah, he is.
If you're doing pediatric cancer research, you come to Alex Lemonade Stand Foundation. And it's just an incredible organization, and we couldn't do our work without this kind of support.
I think that we have made major discoveries about the fundamental basis of childhood cancers. And we are now at this tipping point of using that information to develop new drugs, new therapies.
It's great to be able to see that the research has now allowed some targeted therapies to be able to be done in children. And you know, I've had patients where I say sometimes you had a bone marrow transplant to erase your leukemia. I said someday there'll be a pill for this, and now there seems to be some pills for this.
I had a baby come into the hospital with a big mass on her neck and face. This tumor has the gene, and I've got a pill for that, right? So you don't need all the chemo. We don't need we don't need to do surgery. We don't need to do central lines. I'm gonna send you home with some medicine, right? And I'll see you in clinic in a few days.
And we want to make it so that that's what happens for all kids with cancer.
We have track record now. We know that these approaches can work. We know curing childhood cancer is possible.
Just keep believing and think of her as the amazing, fabulous little girl that she was. She had this dream and she was so determined, and it came true.
She was determined other kids were not going to suffer like she and these children around her were suffering, that she was going to do something, and she did it.